debated in Parliament within 14 days. Due process. We are continuing to conclude it. The Minister for Finance has appeared to defend himself, Mr. Speaker, and I quote, "The motion shall be debated in Parliament within 5 days." And 482(4) says, "A minister on respect of whom a vote of censure is debated under clause 3 of this article is entitled during the debate to be heard." Due process. So, Attorney General, to say that these parliaments have not complied with the minimum requirements of the Constitution is neither here nor there. May I walk you further? May I walk you further to Article 23? You defended yourself and even quoted the Supreme Court ruling. Here we come, and here I read. Article 23 reads, Mr. Speaker, administrative bodies and administrative officials. Mr. Speaker, you are members of Parliament. Are you administrative officials? Mr. Speaker, shall act fairly and reasonably and comply with the requirements imposed on them by law, and persons aggrieved by the exercise of such acts and decisions shall have the right to seek redress before a court or other tribunal, referring to what you call the ombudsman or Shraj for our purpose in Ghana, that even this Parliament can appoint the ombudsman. How dare the Attorney General compare Shraj to the Parliament of Ghana? That is your understanding of Article 23 of the Constitution. How can you reduce this co-equal organ of state, the co-equal organ of state, the Parliament of Ghana, to an administrative institution? Mr. Speaker, come again. Now, Mr. Speaker, now to paraphrase the Minister for Finance, he himself said that this motion have done this country's democracy some good. I couldn't agree more with you, because this motion, Mr. Speaker, will let ministers of President Nana Addo Dankwa sit up and know that there is a watchman called the Parliament of Ghana, that if they are betraying the public trust, are not living to the expectations of the public, they will be held accountable by this August House. That is the good this motion is doing. And then to you aspiring ministers under John Mahama, the same rule will apply to you tomorrow if you show you. So don't think that it's applicable only to them. Tomorrow, when you do assume roles as ministers, this House will hold you accountable. Mr. Speaker, it has facilitated transparency and openness. At least the minister have now provided 80 million for cathedral. He didn't do so in the previous budget, at least. Mr. Speaker, since they are tendering matters in evidence, I will tender this in evidence. Mr. Speaker, with the call that an independent engineers must evaluate how much money have been spent on the cathedral and how much work have been done against the letter from contractors, which I will also tender in that they have not been paid, so that a report will be submitted. So, Mr. Speaker, I'll tender that in evidence.
Yes, Minority Leader.
I'll tender in
just a minute.
The tutorial due.
Minority Leader, just a minute. Yes, Deputy Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minority Leader has tendered a picture. Mr. Speaker, which picture we don't know the source. Mr. Speaker, and he's urging on you to accept this as evidence of some work being done somewhere. And Mr. Speaker, he is now again saying that engineers should go and evaluate. Mr. Speaker, already In an earlier submission, an honorable member had contended that the cost does not in any way match the so-called work done. That was his argument. Now today, he is now misleading this house by saying that we should now go and call engineers when you want members to take a decision on a matter. Mr. Speaker, we cannot accept this. And Mr. Speaker, I rely on the house to make this argument. Mr. Speaker, let's look at order 30. Mr. Speaker, order 30D.
Please, quote the order. Quote the order. Quote the order you are referring to.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'm proceeding.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I am quoting, but you are urging me to quote. Mr. Speaker, I'm doing exactly that. That's exactly what I'm going to do, and you are intimidating me. I am able to quote, and I'm there. So allow me to quote. Mr. Speaker, today it looks like I'm not in your good books. Because I'm quoting, you are saying I should quote. I am quoting, you say I should quote. I am going to do that. I am capable of quoting. You know that I'm not in your good books today, Mr. Speaker. I'm not a happy man. Let me quote.
Honorable Deputy Majority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'm going to quote.
When you started, you were debating. And so I wanted to draw your attention to the fact that you stood on a point of order. Then you said, order, so and so. Then I said, quote the order. You see, please.
We are all your children, but this morning, Mr. Speaker, this morning, your attention has been so positive to this side. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to quote. Today we are all yours, but today they seem to be more happy. Mr. Speaker, they are your favorite children this morning. It looks like we accept children. We are not. We are all your children.
Honorable Deputy Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
On many occasions, I said the same thing of you. I don't know why today you are trying to create an impression that some people are my children, but you are not. But everybody in this house is aware that you are one of the most favored child in the family.
Mr. Speaker, not today. Not today. That is the opposite.
But you must know that every day is not Sunday. You may continue.
Mr. Speaker, it is offensive to present to Parliament frivolous, false, scandalous, groundless, or fabricated document or such allegations in a petition. Mr. Speaker, I am coming from the angle of groundless. I rely on the provision groundless. Mr. Speaker, the honorable minority leader knows how to prepare a document for the purpose of evidence. He knows what to do when he wants to get a document for our records. Mr. Speaker, I contend that paper, which we have not seen, which Mr. Speaker has not seen, which has supposedly been laid, cannot, Mr. Speaker, cannot be said to be a proper document for the purpose of evidence. It is not. And it's very misleading, Mr. Speaker. A picture that we don't know the source. Mr. Speaker, if you may give me a copy, let me show it to you. Mr. Speaker, clerk at table, bring it. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, the clerk at table may let me have it to make my demonstration. So,
yes, honorable, please. You may resume your seat. Well, honorable members, this is not a point of order. We haven't also reached the stage where we evaluate the evidence and depend on what weight you place on evidence. That is the issue is present. So the honorable minority leader may continue with his submissions.
Well, Speaker, so I'm further tendering in notice, I'm further tendering in contractors who have not been paid at the cathedral. Independent engineers can do an assessment. Having spent 339 million, the Ghanaian people deserve to know and to have value for money. We'll be interested in ascertaining that. Mr. Speaker, I have respect for the Minister for Lands, so I'll just end here with him. When you sought to debate questioning the relevance of censorship motion, then you may as well have told the framers of the Constitution that Article 82 was unnecessary and ought not to have been part of the 1992 Constitution. But even that, the President of the Republic, whom you said, Nana Addo Dankwa, assented to what I call the Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2018, Act 982. And Mr. Speaker, in the Fiscal Responsibility Act, Section 4, it reads, and I quote, head note, vote of censure. Parliament may, in accordance with Article 82 of the Constitution, pass a vote of censure on the minister, where the minister breaches Section 2 by more than 1 percentage point. The Honorable Atufonse referred to it. So, Minister, we are competent within the Constitution, competent within the Fiscal Responsibility Act, and competent within the exercise of oversight. And we are doing so with respect to the rule of law. Mr. Speaker, when the Minister for Finance appeared before the committee, he responded to some of the issues, some satisfactorily, some unsatisfactorily, some very disappointingly. We are disappointed. For instance, the argument about money being put in an offshore account, nobody on this side have alleged it to your person. Nobody. We can't do that. We respect your person, but nobody alleges that you set up an offshore account for yourself. We allege that monies that ought to be in the Petroleum Holding Fund, to which you have been given authority under the Petroleum Revenue Management Act at 815, imposes the obligation on you. So to say that you borrowed GMPC $164 million to do what? Did that borrowing come before this House? No, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, may I with respect again refer you to Article 181. No, I have the script. Article 181. Mr. Speaker, Article 181 states, 1811, Parliament may by a resolution supported by the votes of a majority of all the members of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, the emphasis is mine, authorize the government to enter into an agreement for the granting of a loan out of a public fund or a public account. Where did you get the mandate and authority to borrow GMPC, that money, without parliamentary approval? That is the question we raise. Jermaine, relevant. And Mr. Speaker, maybe I should paraphrase the minister's oath when he swore his oath of office as minister. So may I refer you to the Constitution and to the oath section. Oath of a cabinet minister. It reads that he shall uphold and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. That Constitution provided him that when he wants to borrow, he must come to this august House. He failed to do so. That is a breach of law and a breach of the Constitution, to which we hold him accountable. Then, Learned Attorney General, I also heard you quote Article 2 of the 1992 Constitution. I heard you well, and I re-quote it for you. You stated in defense of your that where in this Constitution any other law found to be inconsistent with any provision of this Constitution. So when Parliament legislates on a law, I say when Parliament legislates on a law like a bill, and that bill is repugnant to this Constitution, it will be declared null and void. Are you suggesting that we do not have the authority to subject the minister to a vote of censure? Yes, we do, and that is what we are exercising. Mr. Speaker, my joy is in that this gallant minority, we are aware of our limitations. The Ghanaian people didn't give us an overwhelming or absolute majority. Neither did they give our press opposite. But Mr. Speaker, our heart was warmed when the majority leader, in addressing a press conference with some 93 members of parliament from his back, 98, assured us of their cooperation. Where is your cooperation? We need it today. We do not need your cooperation any other day than today. That you must cooperate with us. And you must cooperate fundamentally, Mr. Speaker, for one reason, that you reflect the disappointment of the Ghanaian people. You share their hardships, you share businesses which are collapsing, and you share the fact that we must hold the Honorable Minister for Finance responsible for that. Mr. Speaker, when the minister was responding, he said that not due to recklessness or mismanagement, not due to COVID, and not due to Ukraine. In 2003, when the MPP government went to IMF, was it because of those factors? You are reminded that in 2003, there was an external with the IMF, led by the New Patriotic Party government. So stop behaving like you are angels when it comes to going to IMF for political credibility. You did so in 2003. Mr. Speaker, today, this animal called debt exchange. Where have any of you heard about debt exchange? That you manage an economy to the extent that you are seeking to help save the economy with a debt exchange, which is threatening, which is threatening the financial health of the economy and the health of the financial industry in our country. I've just reviewed a report that four banks, local, 4 banks, foreign, cannot just do with your debt exchange initiative.
Honorable Minority Leader, your time is up.
In 1 minute, Mr. Speaker. 1 minute. I have to speak for these banks. They are holding 83.9% in debt. 4 foreign banks, 4 local banks, they are near collapse because of the failure of your policy, your incompetence. You have overborrowed from 120 billion to 450 billion. Under NDC, we never borrowed that much, but at least we deliver. Mr. Speaker, on this note, my colleagues who are brave enough and courageous enough, stand with us to vote and vote to bid the minister farewell. I'll be watching what the majority leader will say, whether he will be a man or today it will change into Mr. Speaker. So I beg to federal aid members that let's pass a vote of censure. In that, it's interchangeably used with vote of no confidence. What we have done, I'm sure he himself in his sleep and his conscience know that at least some of the issues we have raised, we are right. And that we have done it for the good of the Ghanaian people. In his conscience, he knows. So, Mr. Speaker, join us to bid him farewell. Now, he doesn't deserve to implement his unacceptable debt exchange program, which is threatening pensions, threatening financial institutions, threatening jobs. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, suspension.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, we will now listen to the majority leader, after which the question will be put and the vote will be taken. So please, majority leader, it's your turn.
Speaker,
Yes, majority leader.
Speaker, in rising to comment on the motion before us, I first want to state strongly that I have never stated in this house that even though I'm not a lawyer, I know better, or that I'm much more knowledgeable in law than the lawyers in this house. So, Speaker, you know that I have never made this statement on the floor of the House. The Speaker, with greatest respect, you do know that I don't bear that trait of arrogance. And I'll plead with you, with the greatest respect, to set the record straight for me. I have never said so on this floor. The Speaker, my colleagues came under Article 82. The motion that was admitted by your good self bore the name of the Honorable Muntaka and 128 others. That was a motion that was advertised on 25th of October, and it appeared on the order paper on the 27th of October. Later on, Mr. Speaker, we came to see another motion in the name of the Honorable Harun Idrisu, Muntaka, Mohammed, and 127 others. Is it the same motion that we are debating today? Mr. Speaker, we need to be careful. And you yourself, in guiding us, you have related to the issue that this is a novel. A novel, indeed, it is. But we must be on a straight path. The Speaker, Article 82 provides for a minister of state in respect of whom a vote of censure is debated to be entitled during the debate to be heard his defense. Today, I'm happy that my colleagues on the other side are happy to join the fray that indeed the minister must be given the opportunity to be heard. On the day when they set this in motion, the Speaker, they were reluctant and they were pleading that it should not be referred to a committee. Mr. Speaker, today, I think they have had a road to Damascus experience, and they now say that they buy into this. Yes, Parliament is evolving, and we'll get there. Mr. Speaker, Article 14(1) of the Constitution provides for every person to be entitled to his personal liberty, and no person shall be deprived of his personal liberty. The right to be heard is a fundamental human right, and the Constitution in Article 12, Mr. Speaker, and you have ruled that the committee that you referred this matter to is really a quasi-judicial one, and is supposed to inquire into the matter. As such, it's been your ruling. The minority leader and others have challenged this. If they are challenging the ruling of the Speaker, they know what to do. They must come properly, not through the back door. Mr. Speaker, as I was saying, the Constitution in Article 12 provides, and Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, I want to quote, when people want to limit the due process only to the court. Mr. Speaker, the freedoms enshrined in this Constitution, Article 12(1) provides, the fundamental human rights and freedoms enshrined in this chapter shall be respected and upheld by the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Mr. Speaker, due process is taken in whole, not in bits and pieces. Indeed. It's not taken in bits and pieces. Due process is holistic. So when a matter goes before a committee, you are supposed to submit yourself to due process. And that's why the Attorney General cited that if you are part of the group that is making that allegation against a finance minister, you cannot turn around to be a judge in your own court. That is it. And I thought that you should appreciate the point that was made by the Attorney General. Mr. Speaker, the motion and the matters mentioned in them came to refer to the ad hoc committee co-chaired by the Honorable Katie Hammond and the Honorable Dr. Ayine. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Dr. Ayine, the co-chair of the committee, was relating to the difficulty that they had because of the co-chairship. And Mr. Speaker, where this co-chairship is even coming from, I don't even comprehend. Let's be cautious about that. Yes, it's a committee that was established by us. Maybe one will relate to the members that we had an 8-member committee, hence this novelty of co-chairing. But we should be careful. And indeed, even the committee that was formed to advise this House on the appointment of an auditor to audit the Auditor General, it was also an even-numbered committee. It came to be chaired by the Honorable Deputy Minority Leader. There was no co-chairship there. So why this? We should be careful in order not to run ourselves into some kind of undefined imbroglio. It will not help this House. Mr. Speaker, Article 82(3), and the Deputy Majority Leader was relating to that when he said that the import of Article 82(3), we should be careful whether what we are doing is not bad under Article 82(3). And Mr. Speaker, you sought for further and better clarification. There's the 14-day rule, that the motion shall be debated in Parliament within 14 days after the receipt by the Speaker of the notice for the motion. The Speaker, you sought further and better particulars. I would want to suggest to us, this is of the same order. The imperatives of Article 82(3) is of the same order as Article 1125. And 1125 provides the Speaker, with the greatest respect, that wherever a vacancy occurs in Parliament, the Clerk to Parliament shall notify the Electoral Commission in writing within 7 days after the vacancy occurred, and the by-election shall be held within 30 days after the vacancy occurred. It cannot be said that the processes were initiated within 30 days. Of course, it's been amended, as the case may be, if it's attributable to death, to 60 days. But it cannot be said that the processes of elections are initiated within 60 days, and so they can go beyond 60 days. Mr. Speaker, I'm suggesting to us that the imperatives of Article 82(3) is of the same order as Article 1125. We must operate within the law. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader, this point you are raising is challenging my ruling. You are challenging my ruling. But you know that even though it's stated within 30 days, if on the 30th day the results are equal, the elections continue. True or false?
Mr. Speaker,
you see,
Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect,
please,
you are mixing up.
I'm drawing your attention to it so that you move away from challenging my ruling. You can go on now. Within doesn't necessarily mean that it must be debated and decided within. For some good reason, it could go beyond the days specified. That is practice. Please, let's go on.
I'm going on, Mr. Speaker. The elections would have been conducted within the 14 days.
So the debate started within the 14 days.
Mr. Speaker, it was not a debate. The motion, it was not a debate. There's a word of distinction between the motion and the debate.
Honorable,
But I move on.
Please, when you move a motion and is seconded, go to the standing orders. What does it constitute? Is there in our standing orders? That is why usually when you are raising preliminary objection, I make sure that it's raised before the motion is seconded. If not, after it's seconded, it's debate. That is it. It's there in the standing orders. You may continue.
Mr. Speaker, I've been speaking to the Constitution, and between the Constitution and our standing orders, the Constitution is superior. Mr. Speaker, Article 69(7) relates.
The man just stated now that he has never stated anywhere that even though he's not a lawyer, he knows the law more than lawyers. What is he confirming? Please, yes, I do all this not because I'm debating you. We are doing this because we need to carry the public along. They need to understand how Parliament works. That's why sometimes I'm compelled to say some of these things. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not surprised, but you may be surprised. Mr. Speaker, you remember that day I asked you for guidance and ruling on this Article 82, 14-day duration. And I told you that I know the people we are dealing with. Mr. Speaker, here we are.
I actually, if I heard you say what you said, I would have ruled you out of order. And so you are completely out of order. Yes, please. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I thought that he knows that he's dealing with people who are very scrutinous and very diligent with the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, Article 69(7) relating to the impeachment in respect of presidents provides for the president to be heard either by himself or through his elected lawyer. Article 95(2)(d), which relates to speakers having to vacate their office, does not bear the construction of they having to be heard. That is Article 95(2)(d). However, our own standing orders is the one that you have used to expand the remit of Article 95(2)(d). That is why I found it strange that whereas the Constitution provides that the minister must be heard, people were kicking against head only on the floor. And even if he left to be heard through his lawyer, the lawyer will not have any space. But today, as I've said, we have converted souls, so we will live with them. Mr. Speaker, the people know that Article 150 provides that Parliament and members of Parliament have freedom of speech, and the freedom that we have in discussing matters cannot be impeached in any place outside this house, including the courts. So you come here, descend on a minister or whoever, and then you don't want to create space for the person to be heard. But we have moved beyond that. Today, Mr. Speaker, what we have before us, the minority leader kept saying that the minister admitted that he has borrowed the GNPC some amount. The minister has never admitted anywhere that he has borrowed the GNPC money. He has never admitted. He said he has borrowed GNPC money. The minister, and he said the minister has admitted to it. The minister has never admitted anywhere that he has borrowed GNPC money. I'm quoting the minority leader. That's what he said. Mr. Speaker, again, matters. He says that the conduct breaches the Constitution. And the Attorney General related to this. And that is why the Attorney General quoted for us Article 2 of the Constitution, which provides that a person who alleges an enactment or anything contained in or done under the authority of that or any other enactment or any act or omission or any person is inconsistent with or in contravention with of a provision of this Constitution may bring an action in the Supreme Court for a declaration to that effect. Mr. Speaker, what it means is that if you are alleging that what he has done is in breach of the Constitution, what is required of you? Take the matter to the Supreme Court for declaration. That is what it means. You cannot try him here that he has breached the Constitution and without any declaration from the Supreme Court, tie him like a goat and go take him to the slaughterhouse. Mr. Speaker, where from this? Mr. Speaker, having listened to my colleagues, many of them were addressing issues that are very extraneous to the charges that they themselves preferred against the minister. Some of them bordering on criminality. This indeed is a house. But as I quoted for you under Article 12, you are expected to uphold the imperatives of the Constitution. You cannot say that this is your house and you want to do whatever you like. I'm happy you are now shouting, no, no, no. My dearest friend, Rosin, I'm happy that you are shouting, no, no, no. Let's not do anything that will be reckless. Mr. Speaker, the AG, the Attorney General, only came to proffer his professional advice. He did not come to defend the Minister for Finance. Mr. Speaker, as I said, the Supreme Court, in a ruling, which the Attorney General quoted to us, has not been disputed by the minority leader. When in the case of Awuni versus West African Examination Council, that is not disputed, and the minority leader spiritedly ran away from the issue that was raised by the Attorney General. Mr. Speaker, now I have some picture that has been tabled by the minority leader. Mr. Speaker, strangely, this picture bears no date. It bears no date. Whether it started, it was taking maybe a week after the construction began. Nobody knows. Mr. Speaker, how can such a document be entertained? In this house? You cannot. This house does not rest on your say so. We want this one, bearing no date. I want to table it here. This is a much more serious house. It's a much more serious house. Mr. Speaker, we should not recline with the greatest respect to pedestrianism. Please. Mr. Speaker, I'm taking a cue from Honorable Gentleman. He said I should go slowly. I will go slowly. But Mr. Speaker, these are matters of serious concern, of grave concern. The matters raised against the finance minister, Mr. Speaker, are really serious matters. One, despicable conflict of interest, ensuring that he directly benefits from Ghana's economic woes as his companies receive commissions and other unethical contractual advantage, particularly from Ghana's debt overhang. This is criminality. This is criminality. And you are not able to prove anything. The Speaker, unconstitutional withdrawals from the consolidated fund in blatant contravention of Article 178 of the 1992 Constitution, supposedly, they are not even too sure, supposedly for the construction of the President's Cathedral. Mr. Speaker, really, they are reducing this to a joke. Mr. Speaker, illegal payment of oil revenues into offshore accounts in flagrant violation of Article 176 of the 1986 Constitution. Mr. Speaker, what are they afraid of? Yes, I recognize that I've spoken for 15 minutes, 57 seconds. The minority leader spoke for 18 minutes, 53 seconds. I was marking him. Mr. Speaker, why are they running away from their own shadows? Mr. Speaker, deliberate and dishonest.
Please, I'm in charge.
Thank you very much.
Be addressing me, not having a conversation with your friends opposite.
Except that when you intervene, Mr. Speaker, my time is still running. When you intervene, my time is still running.
Honorable Majority Leader, the Speaker cannot be said to be intervening. The Speaker doesn't intervene. No. That word can be used for a member of parliament, not the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, your ruling or whatever is in an intervention. It's an intervention. The value is the same. The value, when you speak,
read the standing orders and draw my attention to where it says that when the Speaker,
Mr. Speaker,
you read the standing orders and then tell me where it says that when the Speaker comes in or stops a member, that means an intervention.
Mr. Speaker, I'll go on.
I stopped. It's here. I'm watching. Don't worry at all.
Mr. Speaker, the other one is deliberate and dishonest misreporting of economic data to Parliament. And the other day when I heard them, they were talking about differences in statistics reported in budget documents. Mr. Speaker, take any budget statement and you see that what is reported, like now, 2023 budget. If you come to the media review, the figures will be different. And that is deliberate misreporting. That's the understanding of some colleagues of ours. Mr. Speaker, I dare say that that is deliberate contrivance. Mr. Speaker, the others, alarming incompetence and so on, those are political statements. In any event, when we allege incompetence against the former president, John Dramani Mahama, it occasioned impeachment. The protest occasioned impeachment. This is political talk. Mr. Speaker, now having said all this, let me end on the note of the minority leader. The minority leader in London admitted that many of the allegations that they have packaged. Yes, you said, Mr. Speaker, they have not even listened to me. Mr. Speaker, he said, the finance minister knows that some of the issues that they have raised are true. They are right. You said some of the issues raised, the finance minister admits, are right. What it means is that some of them are not right. Some of them are untrue. Some of them are falsehoods. And you want us to vote. With you. Mr. Speaker,
will never be part of it.
Mr. Speaker, and he didn't point out which ones are true and which ones are false.
Tell us.
And you want us to follow you on this misadventure,
Value of the shadow of death.
on this grotesque misadventure.
Value of the shadow.
Mr. Speaker, like Pontius Pilate,
We wash our hands.
we will wash our hands. We will wash our hands. We will wash our hands like this.
J must come. 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 We are washing our hands. We are washing our hands. Aye. 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 Aye.
Honorable members, honorable members, I honorable members, at the conclusion of the debate, based on Article 1044, Article 1044, which reads, where Parliament is considering a bill to amend the Constitution, or where the voting is in relation to the election or removal of any person under this Constitution, where Parliament is considering a bill to amend the Constitution, or where the voting is in relation to the election or removal of any person under this Constitution or under any other law, voting shall be in secret. That is the constitutional provision. We have had discussion on it, and some doubts have been created as to whether this is removal or not. But what is very clear by our standing orders, Order 108, is very clear. It says a motion for a vote of censure on a minister of state shall be moved in the following manner. And what is relevant here is B. The motion shall be debated in Parliament within 14 days of its receipt by Mr. Speaker, and shall be supported by the votes in secret ballot of not less than 2/3 of all the members of Parliament. And so I proceed to call for a secret ballot pursuant to Article 1044 and Order 108B. We will conduct secret voting now. The clerk at table will call, and then you proceed to cast your ballot. There is a request because some members flight, and so they will be called out of 10 to vote and be able to catch the flight. And so we will start now. Clerk at table, you may start now.
Mutaka Mohammed Mubarak. Samson.
Honorable members, be fast.
Ayamgaladi Ayi. Ayariga Mohammed. Bedro Emmanuel Kwesi. Abaka Samuel Erickson. Abanga Abdullahi.
Please be quiet so that people can hear their names.
Abdullah Jacob Idris. Abdul Latif Dan. Abdul Salam Adams. Ablakwa Samuel Okujeto. Abuaji George Kwame.
Please call me.
Abudu Lariba Zuera. Abuaji George Kwame. Echampon Brian.
Achampon Brian. Achampon Charles. Achampon Richard. Achampon Richard. Akwaku Sophia Karen. Akwaku Sophia Karen. Akwa Alexander Akwesi. Adam Hamza, Doctor. Adam Mohammed Amin, Doctor. Honorable members, the House is still sitting, so you don't pass through here. Please direct them. Adams Idris. Adam Idi Kofi. Adams Idi Kofi. Adam Idi Kofi. Adi Teddy Safori. Adi Teddy Safori. Ado Yao Frimpong. Eje Kwesi Boate. Adom Frederick Obeng. Adumaku Mensa Alex. Adumaku Mensa Alex. Adumaku Mensa Colin. Adongo Isaac. Edu Johnson Kwaku. Educhum Yao Osei. Afenyo Markin Alexander Pamina. Afol Eric. Afrifa Mensa Akwesi Owusu. Free year Nana Ayu. Free year Kwaku. Agaga James. Abeba Charles. Agoja Kwame Government. Japan Ken Ohini. Akando Kwabna Minta. Akamvariba India La Mesi. Achia Samuel Atta. Azuga Albert Akuka. Alasan Abdullah Idi. Alasan Bashir A. Fuseni. Alhassan Lydia Seyram. Alaute Angela Oforiwa. Amankwa Nicholas. Amankwa Menu Kofi. Amewu John Peter. Ameya Treme Kwesi Amwa Osai Bonsu. Stephen Amwa. Amwaku Andrew Esiama. Amwaku Atta Kwesi. Ampem Thomas Nyanku. Ampo Fuchumesi Kwame. Amprachum Sapon Kweku. Anjuri Emmanuel Eje. Ani Moses.
Another Pre Frank. Entry Eugene Boachi. And you may do entry Kwame. Apa Clement Abbas. Apia Patricia. Apia Kubi Andy Kwame. Ama Prince Hamidu. Asamoah Vincent Opong. Asamoah Vincent Opong. Asante Kwejo. Asante Boati Kweku. Asante Boati Francis. Asiama Isaac Kwame. Asiama Kwabena Mankwa. Asiama Eje Nana Ama Dokua. Asofo Vincent Eko. Atamil Samuel. Atamil Samuel. Abeji James Kluche. Avoka Cletus Apu. Ewa Ignatius Bafo. Awuni Teresa Ladi. Awuni Teresa Ladi. Awuni Teresa. Aikupe. Ayeni Dominic. Baba Benson Tongo. Baba Benson. Balik Bright Bachi. Banding Azuma Abednego. Banding Azuma Abednego. Bano Patrick. Batal Sheila. Baswa Philip. Bawa Edward. Kanam Jaba John. Benito Joseph. Bettino Joseph. Bettino Joseph. Bettino Joseph. Blanson Alex. Boachi Henry Yadon. Boachi Henry Yadon. Boachi Henry Yadon. Boachi Yadon Patrick. Boama Patrick Yao. Boati Akwesida Aku. Boati Amapoma. Boati Joseph Apia. Boati Joseph Apia. Bobie Ivan Sopoku. Botre Daniel, Brahman Mohammed Bawa, Brahman Mohammed Bawa, Boa Emmanuel Amakufi, Bukari Joseph Dipe, Chiana Amidu Isahaku, Chiragia Samson Kangowu, yeah, Samson Kangowu, Chiwite Andrew Dari, Renselabeku, Kujo Comfort Doyo, Kujo Joseph, Kujo Robert Wisdom, Kujo Robert Wisdom, either one. Afiameko Roxton Nelson, Eche Wami, Dalu Thomas Ada, Apila Claire to say do, Apila Claire to say do, Daku Daniel Ohene, Daku Daniel Ohene, Daku Mensa Kwabra Otre, Collins Dauda, okay, Dauda Collins, Dawuni Bukari, Dawuni Bukari, Dawuni Abukari, Dari Ambrose, Jonobua Alex Tete, Donko Elvis Morris, Donko Kwabena, Luka George Miracle, Anna, Forger John Team, Forsen Castle Etubahan, Frimpon Joseph, Gakwe Kwame Jujoli, Gakwe Kwame Jujoli, George Samuel Nati, George Samuel Nati, Ganza Alhassan Pabna, Ganza Alhassan Pabna, Gate Joe, it is wisdom. It is wisdom. Gomado Yao. Gomado Yao. Gomashia Blanchifa. James Emmanuel Akwesi. John Alexander. John Mensa Richard. John Mensa Richard. Amon Kobna Taher, Hansen Naughty, I. Aruna Seidu, Efodophilia Mensa, Otoji Alexander Roosevelt, Otoji Alexander, Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed, Ibrahim Ahmed, Ibrahim Zuera Mohammed, Idrisu Habib, Idrisu Haruna, Isifu Seidu, Isifu Seidu, Jaja Yusuf Isaka, Jaja Yusuf Isaka, Jalula Stephen Bambi, Jaso Godfrey Seidu, Jinapo John Abdullahi, Jinapo John Abdullahi, Jinapo Samuel Abdullahi, Kenny Jeffrey, Kissy Dixon Adomako, Bonado Akwesi, Kumsin Babies Howard, Kosa Martin Kwaku Ajay Mensa, Bodo Benjamin Komla, Kum Ebenezer Kujo, Kuma John Ampontua, Kuma Joseph Kwame, Kuyon Solomon, Wachiaka Peter Yao, Wachiaka Peter Yao, Wachi Kwaku Ajiman, Kofi Festus Ewa, J. Mensa Bonsu Osei, Jeremy Nelson, Labi Oscar Ofori, Lati Agnes Namumu, Liwal Oscar, Mahama Aruk, Mahama Nasaturi, Mama Asie Seini. Menu Adabo Francis. Ma for Doctor. Ma for Emmanuel. Ma for Kofi Ahinkura. Boba Thomas. Betty. Mensa Betty. Na Ifua Crosby. Mensa Francis Colton. Mensa Isaac Ajay. Mensa Joseph Akwesi. Mensa Joseph Akwesi. Mensa Tina Giftina Ayele. Yes. Yes. Mercy Andrew Kofi Ajapa. Morrison Cynthia Mamley. Musa Abdul Aziz Ayaba. Nanja Sanja. Mapari Dominic. Nawani Doctor. Nawani Mark Kent. Yes. Newman Dakwan. Little Dominic. Nkansabu Edu Mavis. Lugo Kofi Akun. Not be Ernest Henry. Not be Ernest Henry. Not you Kotwe Peter. In team Adelaide. In team Augustine Collins. In Tosu Helen Ajua. In Tosu Helen Ajua. Nyakote Albert Tete.
I swear.
Nyakote Albert Tete.
You don't see arms. Masha, you don't see arms. It is.
Nyaku Bismarck Tete. Nyaku Bismarck Tete. Nyaku Kingsley. Nyaku Pamela Menta. Nyaku Pamela Menta. Menta. Obin Wati Alfred. Obin Teti George Pabina. Okuru Linda Obiniwa Akwili. Odamtem Isaac. Odamtem Isaac. Ofosua Jare Elizabeth. Okufudate Williams. Okufudate Williams. Okufudate Williams. Otre Michael Bethy. Otre Jekum Kofi. Opoku Davis Ansa. Opoku Eric. Opoku Eric. Opoku Isaac Yao. Opon Kroma Kojo. Osai John Frimpong. Osai Kennedy Nyako. Osai Asari Abna. Osai Owusu Joseph. Oti John Abna Bless. Otute Christian Olete. Usubio Benito. Usu Akufu Esla. Pay to Desmond de Graft. Pay to Desmond de Graft. Fell to Abdurrashid. Rempe Frida. Rempe Matthew Oku. Walter Henry. Wilson James Jechi. Ramadan Mohammed. Yes. Mohammed Ademu. Ricketts Hagen. Safosara Ajua. Sandari Sebastian. Sani Suleiman Adam. Senai John Pabna Aban Abua. Soya Queensta Mami Pokua. Sefe Richard Kwame. Sefi Richard Kwame. Yes. Yes. Secretary Benjamin Yeboah. Sosu Francis. Sowadela Ajua. Sowarita na Odoli. Sueni Alasan. Suparu Adams Mohammed. Suparu Adams Mohammed. Suleiman Adam. Suleiman Adama. Suleiman Adam. Adam. Suleiman Alhassan Tampuli. Alhassan. Suleiman Alhassan. Tampuli. Suleiman Yusuf. Suleiman Yusuf. Suma Anthony. Tahidu Abdurazak. Tevia Augustine. All right. Tell Adi Ebenezer Oklite. Tete Joycelyn. Tete Sylvester. Tete Abutu Gizela. Tete Joseph Akwete. Toffee Dorcas. Toffee Dorcas. Tobu Peter Lansene. Tobu Peter Lansene. Tufero Muhammad Hadi. Chum Ampofu Gifty. Chum Berima Paul. Yusuf Mustafa. Vanderpoel Alfred Uku. Vanderpoel Edwin Ni Lante. Bondi David. Wakbal Daniel Isala. Wakbal Daniel Isala. Wakbal Daniel. Reku Brobe Bright. William Mekpagna Mensah. Ziedim Bid and Waterzumo.
Honorable members, we now invite the tellers to collate the vote. Please get back to your seats. Why? Honorable members, honorable members, why the commotion? Why? Please, don't go there. Honorable members, resume your seats. Honorable members, resume your seats. Members, we have two motions and we have to take a decision on the two motions. I've been given the figure already. So I have the figure, those who have voted. Honorable members, the first is what is on the order paper today. The motion on the order paper for today is for us to adopt the report of the ad hoc committee. So on that, and that one is a voice vote. Then I'll put the question on the resolution for the vote of censure, which, as you know, according to the article, is a secret vote which you have done, and that has a percentage that will support it. So the first vote is to be taken on the motion number 21, which will be a voice vote. Those in favor of the motion number 21 on the order paper at page 16, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. The ayes have it. The vote is agreed upon. So the report of the committee, that is the ad hoc committee, has accordingly been adopted. And now put the question on the motion that was moved by the minority leader and seconded by the minority chief whip, which is what resolved in the resolution. And so the resolution reads as follows. Whereas by the provisions of Article 82 of the Constitution and Orders 106 and 108 of the Standing Orders of Parliament, this House hereby resolves as follows. To pass a vote of censure on the minister responsible for finance. Those in favor after the secret vote is 136. Those against, 0. Abstentions. Now, in accordance with Article 82(1), which reads, Parliament may, by a resolution supported by the votes of not less than 2/3 of all the members of Parliament, pass a vote of censure on a Minister of State. Following the terms of Article 82(1), the vote is accordingly lost. Honorable members, the minority leader to say a word.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you very much and indulge you and make it for the purpose of the record and for the purpose of posterity. You have guided this house so well, at least in the novelty of a watershed in the exercise of the mandate of Parliament when it comes to parliamentary oversight. But Mr. Speaker, few lessons for the future. Few lessons for the future. One, Mr. Speaker, the report that we have adopted failed to make a finding of facts and to make recommendations. Probably into the future. I know that is not your wish. In the interest of openness and accountability, a committee of that stature appointed by you must be able to relate the words of those alleging against those who want proof, so that the committee must make a finding of fact so that they can make appropriate recommendations. Because, Mr. Speaker, if I peruse your committee's report, this is just for the record. For instance, on the vexed issue of conflict of interest, with borders on unethical behavior, which the Constitution of 1992 frowns upon, doesn't it lie within the powers of Parliament, as observed by Professor Prempeh of CGD, that at least the committee can probe further? I mean, if we say that people have benefited, the only way to know they have benefited is to know who issued which bond when, who were the bond holders, book holders, who got what. We will know the entities, and if the entities are related to persons in authority, appropriate recommendations be made thereof. Even though one can only agree with the committee when they say that we have no jurisdiction. Yes, we do not have. The jurisdiction lies within the Ombudsman of Shiraj, created under the same 1992 Constitution. But, Mr. Speaker, as you observe 104 imposes a burden on Parliament when a committee is asked to investigate. The committee should not be in a haste to conclude its work. After all, many of the issues were raised. You can probe further. For instance, the picture we've shown of Cathedral. At least next time, the committee should be able to go to the site and come back. Because in all this, Mr. Speaker, we want Ghanaians to have value for money, for the taxpayers' money. But I cannot thank you but recognize that history will remember you, that this was your contribution to the exercise of parliamentary oversight, to hold the executive accountable, especially when you have a president. I will not reshuffle. Some other institutional authority must do the reshuffle on his behalf. We have sent a clear signal to him that we have passed a vote of no confidence on the minister because there's true hardship. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, if they had not worked out and honored their earlier promise, they would have been saving this country. Because, Mr. Speaker, where we are, the country is in life support. What we have done is to give it some oxygen for the next few days. That may not be enough to the unknown world. So, Mr. Speaker, this will be your contribution for the. We will remember you that at least we moved a vote of censure, recognized by Article 82. We'll walk through the process, and I'm sure tomorrow people will know that this Parliament can hold them accountable. But for the majority walk out, we leave them to the Ghanaian people who stood strong with them in their times of hardships and in their times of need, that they abandon them because they simply don't care. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Honorable members, one of our senior statesmen, actually I will refer to him as elder statesman, told me a story. Now when they were in school, a gentleman used to visit them, and whilst walking on the street, he would be repeating one statement. I quote, "If you don't die early, you will see things. If you don't die early, you will see things." I've been praying to God to allow me not to die early so that I can see things. I am not yet old, but I've started seeing things. With this, I will proceed to adjourn the House. The House is accordingly adjourned to tomorrow at 10 in the forenoon. The House is adjourned.